Hello investors, I hope all of you had a terrific day. Today in my personal portfolio I had a 1% gain. That was a little frustrating to me just because I really felt like I should have done a lot better than that. There were just some mistakes that I kind of made through the day. We don't always trade perfectly, but a gain is a gain, and 1% gain, I'll take it. That paired with my gain from yesterday of 2.5%. So far this week, I'm marching right along, so I feel good about it. Was really active in my trading, in my selling. And if you were following along today on Stocktwits, you saw that, and you were like, wow, he's selling everything. It almost felt that way for sure. But let me just cover some of the trades that I made and why I made them. The first one was HCHC. I sold it for even. And so I didn't make money, didn't lose money. I finally broke even on this, sold it in pre-market. It's just a little while since the insider activity. I don't like to go further than 3 days from that activity, and we were well over 3 days, and so it was time. I needed to unload that to put it in other insiders, and so that's what I'll do. Those insider trades are good for about 3 days, and then after that, they just aren't what you want. So sold that. This morning, KTOV was way up, and so I sold that for a 62% gain. I did not want to risk it dropping once market open happened. I wanted to lock in those gains, and boy am I glad I did. If you saw later on in the day, they did a direct offering and the stock price dropped way down. That was a huge gain for me. Miles, that was a great pick. So it just lasted a couple days, but it was really good. Next, sold JAX, J-A-X, for a 3% loss. This was more than 3 days out from insider activity. That's why I wanted to move it. I tried to hold out and see if it would bounce back this morning. It didn't, and it being down a little bit in pre-market, I sold it, got out of it. Next was MGen. This happened later in the day, and the thing with MGen is that every negative price action indicator that I look at was tripped multiple times. 3 bars, 4 bars, 4 red bars, 5 red bars. I couldn't handle it anymore. And I'm really glad that I sold it. Hopefully all of you did also. They came out with news and it was positive news, but I guess that price was built in. That run up had been built in, and boy did it drop today. I hope everyone can get out of that pretty soon if you're still in it. Hopefully you saw that you followed me and you sold it. So I sold that for 6% loss. Next was MVIS. There was a really negative article that came out yesterday on Seeking Alpha about fundamentals, so you're not buying MVIS because of the fundamentals, you know, but the price action was really negative, and it went negative quick. And so I moved out of it for a 4% loss. That was much better than holding on to it and seeing what happened to it later. So that was actually a good sale. It's unfortunate because I think that if I held it for a long time that it would turn around. But the thing is, I don't like to hold stocks for more than 30 days. And the reason being is because, let me clarify that. I like to hold stocks more than 30 days if there's a PDUFA run-up or there's some long-term catalyst that will keep it and hold it upwards. MVIS does not have a long-term catalyst. It's got some catalyst that's going to pop at some point if it sells. And if someone gains interest in it or gives an offer, it'll jump. I can make a lot more money with that by selling it and moving on. Later in the afternoon, HRTX, I sold that also. That was the #1 pick from yesterday. We've had that about a week. That's been a fantastic pick. Sold it for a 7% gain. There's going to be some profit taking as we get closer to decision. And I was trying to get out before that profit taking happened, which I didn't really. I kind of did a little bit. But as I said yesterday, I really think that that's one that's going to be approved. It's just not what I do. I always get out a couple days before. HRTX should have a great day on Friday. I am expecting it to be approved. Today I came out and I've recorded a video on finding the perfect entry point. And it's really important to follow rules for an entry point. It'll make you money. Please see that video. Take a look at what I look at when I enter into a stock. These are some of my kind of crazy rules with entering into a stock. I don't like to enter in pre-market. Usually pre-market is inflated prices, and I don't like to do that. If the market is down, typically when market opens, it goes further down. So you can never win. Pre-market is a great place to sell. It's great for sellers because they typically get a lot for their stock. But in my opinion, not good for buyers. And I talk about that in the video. Buying an aftermarket is awesome. I do that a lot, but I don't like to buy in pre-market. And I cover exactly how I do that. I like to do it when the market is open, and the reason is once you have a lot of cash and you're trying to go into a stock, you need that market volatility, you need that volume to get a good price on the stock. Anyway, I cover it. Please watch it. If you buy in pre-market, you might want to change from that habit, and don't ever buy without indicators that it's time to buy. It'll help you get a better price. If you learn how to do it and you work at it, you'll get better. Let's get to the top 7 list. Let's talk about it. And this list is really different because I sold everything. I just did what I felt was right for me, definitely. And hopefully you all made some money off those picks. Number 7 is ABEO. So the reason why I like this is because they have a July 10th phase 3.5 data coming out. So this is like a PDUFA run-up, except for it's on phase 3 data. And I think that this stock will really run up all the way up until right around July 8th or so. So I'm in it for a couple weeks, and I think the stock is going to go way up. That's number 7, and that's the reason why I like it. Number 6 is VOLT. VOLT was on yesterday's list, and it had more insider activity today. So Volt, 3 days ago, had insider activity. 2 days ago had insider activity, and today had 2 insider purchases. I'm down just a tiny bit in this stock, but I have a feeling it's gonna turn around. Lots of people are hiring right now. There are companies looking for people, and with the country reopening, I really do think that this is gonna be a stock that could do some great things. Anyway, VOLT, number 6. Number 5 is ENDP. I like ENDP because they have a July 6th PDUFA date. And this stock has been beaten up. I understand why, but I think a really crazy run-up is gonna happen on this. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Next, number 4 is TRVN. I really, really like this stock. This is kind of like a double dipper, so it's got news and it's got a PDUFA date coming up, but that's not until August 7th. So this has been brought to my attention by 2 different people, and they just kind of keep messaging me and telling me about it, and I've been researching it and looking at it, and it's 2 people I respect very much. The first is Captain Fatballs. Your picks are terrific, and I'm excited about what's going to happen with this one. And then also T-Loop. I think that this stock is going to do really great things, especially how it's got the double action kind of going. And this is a longer term hold since we're looking at an August 7th PDUFA date. I'm going to be in this one for a while. Hopefully you follow me. It should be a great stock for a long time. Number 3 is Groupon, GRPN. Groupon yesterday had huge insider activity. I was really able to buy this stock well, so I'm up in it. It had a good day today, about 5% up, and I think that's just the beginning. I think this has been beaten down, and the reason why is so many people sold after that reverse split. Reverse splits are really bad for shareholders, and it kills the value of the stock. GRPN, I think it's gonna do really good. I like it for insider activity. Number 2, and this just happened, number 2 is CVEO. CVEO had really nice insider activity today in aftermarket. It is very, very, very fresh. Now, once insider activity happened, it jumped up to like 11, 12, 13% up. I don't recommend buying it at that point. The reason why I like CVEO is that the insider activity was very strong and it was done in open market. My plan is not to probably buy this in pre-market. It's probably going to be way up in pre-market. Once market opens, I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to look for the perfect entry point. So again, that video is really important that you see, and it talks about how I do that. And number 1 is INO. INO, boy, they have phase 1 data due anytime about what's going on in the world, a vaccine. And this one was talked a lot about from Captain Fatballs, and the stock is already way up. And I was able to really pick a great entry point on a little dip that happened throughout the day, about 20% up in it. Wish I would have got in it earlier because it was 40% up today, but I really think that's just the beginning. I really think this is a $40 a share type of stock. This one's gonna be on the list for a long time. I know you didn't hear SEEL. Today I made a call out on that stock, and I wish I wouldn't have. It did not react well to very positive data, but I'm hoping for a big rebound tomorrow. It's 4% up in aftermarket, so hopefully that continues and even increases. I don't understand the major drop, but you know, sell the news happens, and with great news, you have one person sell and it triggers a stop loss, and then that stop loss triggers another stop loss, and then all of a sudden this big parade starts to happen, and I really think that's kind of what happened with SEEL today. It was great data, so I like it. I do own it. It's not on this list just because it was so far down today. I don't want to recommend it to someone who doesn't have it already. But anyway, I'm holding it. I do a lot of work for this list, so if you could do me a huge favor and hit that amazing and most wonderful like button, I very much appreciate it. Then also, if you could subscribe and sign up for bell notifications, that helps me out a great deal. And if you're looking for a great broker and you want free stocks, please check out the link down in the description below for Webull. I love Webull, and the reason why I like it is because its aftermarket and pre-market hours are really fantastic. So you can trade from 3 in the morning Central Time all the way to 7 o'clock at night. And so I do love that flexibility. I hope all of you have a fantastic rest of the week and that you get a lot from these picks. And let's go make some money. Raythoven out.